What is going on, faithful? It is great to be with you because, man, we've got some positive stuff that we're bringing to the podcast today. 5 reasons to be excited about the 49ers future. And I want to be honest with you. Whenever I started this, I was like, all right, let's do 5. And then I was like, all right, now I got 6. All right, well, there's 7. And again, I get it. I'm a positive guy. I love looking forward to what's out there. But man, there's a lot of things to be happy about. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Now, also, I do want to say we did post on YouTube a full highlight film breakdown of Trey Lance. It is in the description of this video. If you haven't checked that out, that is there for you as well. If you, again, you need some more positivity, you need some more things to look forward to, that is there as well. Now, let's jump into it. All right, here we go. The second thing that 49ers need to be excited about for the future, and this one is gigantic and probably the most common thing asked about all year. Young, outside, cornerback depth, it's here. Everybody wanted corners. Everybody wanted corners. So what do? They don't even spend big in free agency, but they did it this one. They go get 25-year-old Charvarius Ward from the Chiefs. This kid is feisty, in and out. Again, you want to talk character? This kid was in a freaking wheelchair for 2 years of his life growing up. Now he's in the NFL. He had to transfer colleges and undrafted free agent, fights for his job, starts and signed a huge contract with the 49ers, $13.5 million a year. Now, he is exciting for so many ways. And again, he's not the only one. Emmanuel Mosley, again, I think he's 26. Ambry Thomas, under 25 as well. So we have 3 young, promising, solid corners on the outside. Great news. Great news. Now, let's go back to Charvarius Ward. Look at what he's been able to do against bigger-bodied wide receiver, which I really hope the 49ers allow him to switch to stay on the bigger-bodied wide receiver, whether it was Chase Claypool. Here, I got numbers for you. This is Charvarius Ward, what he held wide receivers to when he was guarding them this past year. A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, 18 yards combined when they played the Titans. Devontae Adams held him to 14 yards. CeeDee Lamb, 5 yards. Keenan Allen, goose egg, baby. 0 yards for Charvarius Ward. Jamar Chase, this one was a 1-on-1 battle, which Jamar Chase, in my opinion, probably top 3 minimum, maybe top 2 wide receiver in the NFL as a rookie. That's how good he is. In week 17, Jamar Chase got him. Jamar Chase put up 83 yards and a touchdown, which for Jamar Chase, that's a bad game. Now in the AFC Championship game, held Jamar Chase to 22 yards receiving. That's unreal. This dude competes against the best. Now, what does he do that makes him so special? Gives up no separation. He's not a ball hawk guy. So interceptions, that ain't what he's doing. Gives up the least amount of separation in the NFL, according to advanced next-gen stats. And he just makes it difficult. He's pestering. He's calm, cool, collected at all times, and never out of phase. Never out of phase. Always right where he's supposed to be. And it just pesters. It's just nagging, right? He's like a gnat. And you can just see it whenever you're watching the game tape, which, again, we put some of that up on Patreon if you want to go check that out. Again, just go to patreon.com, type in 49ers Rush Podcast. It's the best way to support the show as well. But if you want to check that out, we have game tape of him up this year against Jamar Chase, against Chase Claypool. So you can see exactly what he does against big wide receivers. Now, if we look at the NFC West, guess what? Home of the best big wide receivers in the NFL. This is who he's going to be going up against at least 6 times every single year. DeAndre Hopkins, twice. He has had the 49ers number. I want him to blanket wherever he goes. Now, does that mean he's going to shut him down? No, we don't need him to shut him down. We just need him not to have 12 catches and 150 yards and a touchdown against us like he did a year ago. You look at DK Metcalf. Good gosh. That's where he needs to be. That's what he's built for. Now you look at the Rams. Obviously, their best wide receiver weapon is Cooper Kupp. I don't think he's going to be guarding Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp plays out of the slot predominantly. He plays outside as well. But he's going to be going against their new acquisition, Allen Robinson. That's going to be his task. Now, the 49ers, this is an issue, and let's transition now away from Charvarius Ward. Let's talk about who's going to be the slot corner. because I think that this is one of those things that is a little bit difficult for me to see currently. Is he on the roster? You have bodies. Now, you have these 3 stud outside corners, Emmanuel Mosley, Charvarius Ward, Ambry Thomas. I think the starting outside corners will be Emmanuel Mosley and Charvarius Ward. But when you go to nickel, which teams do about 70% of the time in the NFL, and you bring that third corner in, you take the third linebacker out, who goes to the slot? I think the 49ers would prefer Diamador Lenore to step up and win that, or Darquez Denard, who they just signed to an extension, who got some play time in the playoffs. They liked him as well. Obviously, they brought back number 27. But if you want your best 3 guys out there with what's on the roster now before the NFL draft, I would move Mosley. I'd have him as Mosley as the outside starting corner opposite Ward. And then on nickel, slide him in to the nickel back, bring Ambry Thomas in to be the outside corner. Some teams have done this. I know Denver's done it. I know the Chargers have done it as well. The 49ers have been one of the most inflexible personnel teams, especially on the defensive side. Is that something that they could do? I don't know. I would really, really like them to do it. Keep players where they're at their best and put your best 11 out there. I would love to see that. Ambry Thomas, I think he's going to have a very bright future. But this gives him a moment to kind of chill. He doesn't have to be the guy. It's not a bad deal if he is the guy. But now you have a little bit of leeway with injuries. The fact that we are 3 deep at outside corner means this makes me really, really happy. No Josh Norman. No Drake Kirkpatrick. Think about the games we have lost the past 2 years because of lack of outside corner depth. Now we have 3 guys, and I would put 4 out there. Number 27, Dante Johnson. I don't think that he's a good outside corner. I would put him in the slot only, and especially not if we're playing Cooper Kupp. He just destroys them, but Cooper Kupp destroys everybody. So you can't just take that against him. So the number 2 reason why I'm really, really excited about the 49ers future and why it's so bright is we finally have young cornerback outside corner depth, which we have not had. We just haven't had. Since Kyle Shanahan showed up, we haven't had it. Even when we paid Sherman, who was great, the other side, we were in trouble. I mean, we had Emmanuel Mosley out there starting as an undrafted free agent in the Super Bowl. He did well, but now he's way better. He is developed. Philip, love this. Appreciate the gift, my friend, on Super Chat. He says, looking forward to Charvarius Ward running. The dude looks good. Dude looks really, really good. He stays with them on the deep ball so well. I love it. I absolutely love it. Mark, he says, John, do you think there's a chance Ward starts getting more picks as a 49er? You look at forced incompletions. I think he was like 2nd or 3rd in the NFL off the top of my head. Like, he's good. He gets his hands on balls. Ball skill's just not his thing. And a lot of times interceptions are a tough metric to track or to predict. But what he does is he plays wide receivers. You know, whenever I used to coach in the secondary, we would run 60s and 70s coverage, which basically means, do you read the quarterback or do you read the running back? He's pretty damn good at reading the wide receiver and just making it, again, what's his role? What does he do well? He makes it very difficult for the wide receiver to catch the pass, which at the end of the day, that's cornerback play 101. Make it hard to complete the pass. He gives up passes, but they're usually underneath. And they're no yards after contact. Like once they after catch. Once they catch it, there's no yak. There's none. And you can see the foundational building pieces of the 49ers. We maximize yards after catch on offense. We bring down with surefire tackling from the corner position. He's a great tackler. Very, very good tackler. So he got 2 interceptions last year. He didn't have any really before that. If he gets 1 interception, I would be very, very happy with him throughout the season. Like, that's just it. It's not really his game. Don't expect people to change their colors. Now, if it does happen, that'd be great and be ecstatic, but I'd set the over-under at 1. I'll be really honest with you. It's just not part of his game, and that's okay. I love ball hawking secondary players. 49ers just don't put a huge value on it. They want consistent tackling and people that do not mess up. They don't want mess ups. They want people that are consistent. This dude's as consistent as he gets. Back to this one. Here we go. Lax says this. All the Jimmy stuff goes away after week 5 when Trey starts hitting on all cylinders. I don't even know if it's going to last that long. I think there's a chance Jimmy gets dealt during the draft if Carolina doesn't get a quarterback in the first round. I also think that there's a chance that he gets dealt once the season starts if an injury happens. I don't like rooting on injuries. That's not what I'm saying at all. I want to make sure everybody understands that. But it is a reality in football, 100% injury rate. If that happens to a playoff caliber team, that's where he will be dealt. But yeah, the one thing I will say, Lax, is yeah, there's a possibility he's on this team for a while. Now, if he is, this is Trey's team. Understand that. You can talk about competition, whatever. You don't let Jimmy Garoppolo go up there and cry and say goodbye to the faithful after the NFC Championship game if this team's not being passed off. I don't care. Kyle might say open competition. Don't care. That snaps, it's going to be all first-team reps for Trey Lance. And here's how Kyle is spin it. And I'm going to save this clip. Here's what Kyle's going to say whenever Jimmy's not getting any first-team reps in training camp, OTAs, whatever. Well, Jimmy already knows the offense, and so we're just trying to make sure Trey's ready and just trying to catch him up. But, yeah, we have two quarterbacks we really like, and we feel confident with both. That's what he's going to say. That's what he's going to say. Matt, hang in there, bud. He said sick. You know what else is sick? The 49ers future, because it's awesome. I'm sorry I did that, and I got loud. That was cheesy. I apologize. Anyway, let's get back to this. But before we do, all my baseball people, where my baseball people at? This one's for you. All right, guys, excited to tell you about the Giant Cocktails podcast. It's a weekly podcast where they cover the San Francisco Giants, which, man, we need that now more than ever. And these are two great dudes, Ben and Matthew. They're awesome. And they start every single episode where they make some unique type of cocktail. Then they go on these alcohol-fueled rants about baseball and all these things. So head over there. It's awesome. It's a very fun podcast. Really feels like you're just hanging out with, two really cool guys. And they go through everything. And, one of my favorite things about sports podcasts, maybe I'm not that good at this, is just the comedy and the camaraderie that they bring about this. So get caught up with the Giants while learning how to make great tasting cocktails. And I'm telling you this, it doesn't get better than this. If you haven't checked it out yet, head over there. Wherever you get your audio podcast, Giant Cocktails Podcast. Trust me, they're worth the effort. Go check it out. You're going to love it. And let them know the 49ers Rush podcast sent you. All right, here we go. I like this question. Mr. Superfly says, don't you think Carolina would rather draft a quarterback and roll the dice that he can go? It would be a lot cheaper for them. It would be. However, if Matt Rule doesn't make the playoffs, he is fired. Like, he's almost as dead as Matt Nagy was last year. How'd that work out for Matt Nagy to get a young rookie quarterback? How'd that work out? He's fired. He's not a head coach anymore. So if you get Jimmy and you put him on Carolina, which Carolina has a decent roster, there are some issues. It's not like a top tier team, but I'm telling you right now, you need somebody that can step in week one and play. And you've got Christian McCaffrey. You're running everything through him. You got DJ Moore. They have pieces. They've got a decent defense. It's just, again, my thinking is, if I'm the head coach, do I want to run with a rookie or do I want to run with, a veteran that's going to guarantee me? If they make the playoffs with Jimmy G, then guess what? He gets to keep his job. The GM gets to keep his job. Everybody gets to keep their job. So that's why I would say they have the cap space. They have it available. So I think that's the backup. Now, they pick number 6, the Panthers do in the draft. I don't know, man. Malik Willis has Matt Rule written all over it. I'm telling you right now. They'll take Malik Willis if he is there. Malik Willis will be the pick if he's there. But I don't think he's going to be there. Not because I think he warrants that draft pick number 6 overall, but because there's a lot of quarterback-needy teams that have a bridge quarterback there right now. Marcus Mariota, not the answer for the future. Sam Darnold, not the answer for the future. Jared Goff, not the answer for the future. So teams reach on quarterbacks every year. It's the most important position in sports. So I think that's why it's going to happen. But anyway, if you're a 49ers fan, you're hoping quarterbacks go, or you want 2 quarterbacks to go in the top 5, which isn't unheard of. This is a pretty low bar draft. Do they deserve that pick, those 2 quarterbacks, Kenny Pickett and Willis? Absolutely not. They don't. But teams need QBs. So anyway, we'll take that.